Hello, and welcome to the 2023 River States Conference Media Day for IU Southeast Volleyball. I am Logan Stevens, here with head coach Eric Bryan and seniors Kate Murphy, Emily Organ, and Lexi Striegel. Coach, I'm going to start with you for some questions. There's always a level of excitement anytime you get a new season. Just what are your thoughts on getting a new season underway?
Well, again, we're always excited about a new season. The players are excited. College is starting for the incoming freshmen, and so there's a lot of excitement anyway. The trick is maintaining that excitement throughout the entire season.
And every year you're going to have some returners that kind of take a leadership role. Who are the one or two, or maybe even three returners that you're going to lean on this year in terms of leadership, pulling your team together?
It's definitely hard to narrow it down to one or two. Definitely any one of the three in this room carries a lot of responsibility and leadership. In addition to that, you also got Ella Brooks, who really had to do a lot for us last year as a freshman due to our depth and the injuries that we had last year. So she stepped up big time last year, so we expect her to do a lot this year along with the returning leadership.
You talked about that leadership, and there's always some new faces on the roster as well every single year. Anybody in particular that the fans should keep an eye on this season?
Man, that's a tough one because there's a lot of new in our team right now. And so I think there's lots of different players that could step up. What we're seeing right now already early, Allison Daves, being a freshman, getting a lot of playing time right now, has done really, really well early. In addition to that, we got a couple of transfers that are getting some playing time. I think Haley Jaster is a really big component for us this year. And so those two stick out in my mind, but even then, you've got a lot of pressure coming from underclassmen on some of the other players. I think Isabel George is a strong defensive player that's putting pressure on Lexi to really make sure Lexi's doing what she needs to maintain the libero position. So there's lots of different players that could do something surprising for us this year.
Just talk about your schedule in particular and what's in store from the other teams in the River States Conference.
You got the usual suspects, the other IU schools. I think even though Point Park lost a lot last year, going 16-0 last year, even their returning players are probably talented, but if you look at their roster, they don't have a whole bunch of freshmen coming in. They've got a lot of transfers. And so if those transfer really strong, Point Park could really be strong in the East as well. The University of Rio Grande returns a lot of the roster they had last year, and they ended up doing fairly well. And so there's going to be a couple of surprises, but at the same time, you have the usual suspects like us, IU Kokomo, IU East, Point Park, and so forth.
If you can pinpoint one thing, night in and night out, that you have to do to be successful this season, what would it be?
It's got to be compete. There's a big difference between showing up to play and showing up to compete. And we've made the mistake sometimes of only showing up on some of the big games, and then some of the opponents that we maybe don't have as much of a focus on end up taking the win instead of us. And so I think we need to do a better job of competing every day in practice and in every game, regardless who that opponent is.
Thank you, Coach. Some player questions now. Lexi, I'm going to start with you. Just what are your general expectations for a new season?
Well, some of my expectations are that I feel like last year we did a really, really great job of having a good team culture, and then having all these new people coming in. I think we can add on to it and just increase our level of play and just really compete with everyone else in the conference.
And Emily, I'm going to go to you next. Obviously, you want to build on the things that made your team successful last season, but what are the areas that you as an individual and also as the team as a whole need to improve this season?
I think overall, as a whole, we could improve our confidence. I think, we have a lot of powerhouse hitters and some really good setters and really good defense. But now we just, need to put all of that together. And I think, once we figure that out, that we could be really, really good this season.
All right, and finally, Kate, describe how tough the River States Conference is and how you have to bring your A game every night, whether at home or on the road.
I think when you look at some of the top teams in the River States Conference, they're super scrappy. They're going to give us a run for our money. So that means we have to show up with the right mentality every game, and no game's going to be easy for us. So that means we have to bring our A game, whether it's on the road or home.
And the Grenadiers home opener is September 6th at 7 p.m. Thanks for joining us today, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.